Namaskar. Welcome to the example number 13 for the event Professional Prospects. In this example, we are going to study a female chart who is working in the IT sector. After her marriage, she moved to other country along with her husband, and her career actually started in abroad only in 2009. But I'm going to take recent job changes and job loss period after 2019 only. The recent, activities only I'm going to discuss, wherein she got a change of job, notable change of job, permanent job she had in Rahu Magara Mars Bugdi, and Jupiter Antra. She had the change of job. So why she had the change of job? Under the Rahu Dasa, Mars Bugdi, and Jupiter Antra, that we are going to see. And after that, Mars Bugdi and Jupiter Antra, in the Mars Bugdi, no other Antra had the change of job. So that Rahu Dasa is over. After Rahu Dasa, Jupiter Dasa started. In Jupiter Dasa, because the job in which she got the job in Rahu, Mars, and Jupiter, she continued in the Jupiter Dasa, Jupiter Bugdi without any change. But in Jupiter Dasa, Saturn Bugdi, in the Venus Antra, she got the loss of job. Suddenly, she was announced that actually their layoff is happening, and she had to, leave the job. So in the Jupiter Dasa, Saturn book, the Venus Antra, if you look at the Venus signification, is strongly supportive for some changes, or loss of job also can be significantly indicated by the Venus Antra. So Venus is capable of doing that in Saturn book, the Venus Antra. If you just look at the period in which she got the job, Jupiter Rahu Dasa, Mars Bugdi, Jupiter Antra, she got the job, right? That job only she is losing in the Saturn Bugdi Venus Antra under the Jupiter Dasa. Now, my question, when she got the job in Rahu Dasa, Mars Bugdi, and Jupiter Antra, she got the change. After the Jupiter Antra, Saturn, then Mercury, then Ketu, and Venus Antra would have run under the Mars Bugdi. Venus Antra would have run, but that did not give the loss or change of job. So Rahu, Mars, Venus did not give any change. But Jupiter, Saturn, Venus has given not change, loss of job. She's running that period only. She's now at present, the time of recording, during December, she's jobless. Why that Venus was giving a change of job, so loss of job under the Saturn Bugdi, but why did not support for such loss of job under the Mars Bhukti in the Rahu Dasa? That we are going to check. This is the importance of the field connections, especially that difference, that combination, this field connections role we can identify only with the EPS system of astrology. You can see for yourself. I'm going to explain this one. So we will see in the example chart now. Example 13, timing of event, job in abroad, change of job and loss of job, and in various Dasa Bhukti Antras. We are going to study in this example now. Now let us examine the birth chart. This is the birth chart of that female native, born on 13th October 1984, 11:36 p.m. in Andhra Pradesh. Let us have a general study on the birth chart before we proceed to the self-signification study and also the destiny. Let me open that North Indian chart. Now let us have a look at the general study. This native is born in Gemini Lagna. 10th cusp is falling in the Pisces. 10th Lord is in the sign of Pisces, ruled by Jupiter as the Rasi Lord, and Nakshatra Lord is Mercury, and Sublord is Venus. So Jupiter, Mercury, and Venus are the rulers of the 10th house. So if we look at the Karagatva of these planets, Jupiter, Mercury, and Venus, they are all indicating they're supportive for the professional prospects connecting to the IT department, because Mercury and Venus are connecting to that, so that we could easily see that, right? And Jupiter is conjoined with the Mars, 10th Lord, and 7th Lord, Jupiter in own sign, conjoined with the Mars, which is the planet, also important planet for the engineering. Jupiter and Mars in the 6th house, that is good. And that Jupiter, Mars are aspected by Saturn by third aspect, and from the sign of Venus, which is also conjoined with the Venus. So that way it is good, supportive for the, profession in the IT department. And Saturn is occupying fourth house close to the fifth curve. You can see 22, 54, 22, 11, 10. So in the sign of Venus, conjoined with Venus, so that way it is well connected to the, engineering connected to the, software also we can say. And Saturn is 8th Lord, 9th Lord in the 4th house, close to the 5th cusp. Conjoined with the Venus is 5th Lord and 12th Lord. And Mars is 6th Lord and 11th Lord. So Jupiter is 10th Lord occupying 6th house, conjoined with the 6th Lord, 11th Lord, and aspected by 8, 9, 4, and 5. And also conjoined with the Venus 5 and 12. So this is, if you look at this 8, 5, 12 grouping also there, which is indicating some sort of challenges or changes. And it is also having got 4th, 9th house and 12th house and 4th house. These houses, 9 and 12 houses, are supportive for the, profession connected to the abroad, right? And this Jupiter is conjoined with the Mars. As I said, it is 6th Lord, 11th Lord is also fine, right? And now that star Lord Mercury is conjoined with the Sun, which is 3rd Lord. And Venus is the sublord. Venus is already we discussed. Venus is 5th Lord, 12th Lord occupying 5th house and conjoined with the Saturn, 9th Lord and 8th Lord. And that Venus is in the star of Jupiter itself. Jupiter is 7th Lord, 10th Lord. So you can see all the rulers are connected to each other. And the 10th house, 6th house, 11th house, 9th house, 12th house are all supportive, along with this 8th house, 5th house, and 12th house. The 5th house is supportive for the type of profession into IT, but 8 and 12 grouping, when they are joining, it is also supportive for changes or challenges, depending on the complete significations self-signification, and also top to down complete signification, we can find that overall strength how it is. But overall now, Jupiter is conjoined with the Mars, aspected by Saturn. This is good. This grouping, Jupiter, Mars, Saturn combination, and 6th house, 10th house, 11th house are all connected. So that is good only, right? So that is it is indicating some notable job prospects, we can say. And Mercury is conjoined with the Sun, so that is also good. It is talking about the, it is supportive for the professional prospects in a notable position, notable commanding position. Okay, so now that basic study is good for the professional prospects, and also it is indicating some supportive significations for job in abroad also. That we have to keep it in mind. Anyway, now let us check the self-signification of all the planets, and then we proceed. Now we are on the EPS page. I have already selected profession all jobs. Though the native is in profession in abroad, there is one event called profession in abroad also. The only the difference is in profession in abroad, the 9th house instead of in D3 will come under D2, because it is not going to be completely detrimental 9th house. But it will be weak, because it is not worst, but it can be worse also, because 9, when it is connected to 5th house and 8th house, then it can become unfavorable also. But 9 is in general is indicating some weakness, but only with the help of the other unfavorable grouping only we can take it is 9 is going to be completely unfavorable or not. Since 9th house is for abroad, it is supportive abroad job. So that for the abroad job, 9 can be considered under the D2, not in D3. Anyway, all are going to be unfavorable only. So let us now study the self-significations and planet colors. So we are going to check the each planet. Ketu is occupying 5th house and 8th cuspal sublord. And second planet Mars 6, 11, 6, 12, and 3. This Mars is supportive, but Ketu is weak. So definitely Ketu has been given light red because 5 occupant. 5 occupant is not bad. It is also 8th occupant. So 8th cuspal sublord. So we can say it is light red. Suppose Ketu is not 8th cuspal sublord, it is only 5th occupant. We can take it as a mixed also because 5 alone is not going to be unfavorable, and moreover, Mars is supportive. Now, Ketu is again taken as the light red. And Venus, 5th lord, 12th lord occupying 5th house. This is not good in general. And but 3, 7, 11 star lord and 2 and 10 cuspal sublord is very good. So 5th house, the type of profession is connected to the 5th house, the creativity, that to Venus, Rahu connected, and 12th lord and also connected to the abroad, and 5th occupant. So 5, 12, it is not supported by the 8th house. But in general, 5, 12 is not good, but occupying 5th house also supportive to the 5th house, favorable to the Lagna, but not to the event. But 3, 7, 11 is favorable to the Lagna and also to the profession, and also 2, 10 cuspal sublord, primary cuspal sublord. So that way, this is going to be favorable, but 5, 12, and 5 can cause some change or loss. So because of that, we can take Venus as a mixed planet, both favorable and unfavorable. And Sun, 3, 4, and 9. Third lord occupying 4th house is good, and 9 sublord. 9 is in general is weak, but third lord and 9 sublord is supportive. So Sun, we can take it as the favorable only. But because of the 9 sublord only it is present, we can take it as the blue, because 9 it is not having any 11 or other favorable. Even then it is not unfavorable strongly. So I have given blue. It indicates some weakness is present, but though it is not completely unfavorable, right? Or what we can do, the 3, 4, 9 Sun we can give for profession in abroad, we can give light green, right? Because it is not having any other unfavorable. And Moon planet. Moon is second lord, 11th occupant, and 4, 8 cuspal star lord. This is also good, 2, 11, and 4 and 8. It is indicating some obstacles. So Moon also we can give light green. Light green we are giving for the planet which are having favorable grouping, along with some weakness we are giving so far. Mars 6, 11, and 6, 12th star lord and 3rd cuspal sublord. This grouping is good, though 12 is having some weakness, but it is not unfavorable because this is good for the profession in abroad, right? And second planet is having some weakness, 5 and 8. So because of that, Mars we can give light green because favorable along with some weakness, 5 and 8. Or Mars we can give blue color because of the second planet Ketu is having some light red we have already given. So Mars we can give either light green or the blue. So because of the second planet node planet influence, I am giving Mars is a blue to differentiate that. Because if we give a green, then we will not be able to differentiate. That also we can do it. Or if you want, you can give Mars. No, sir, 6, 11, 6, 3 are very good. So why we have to give blue? Yes, of course, we can give light green also. We are not giving blue, dark green. No, so that way you can also give it. That's what I'm saying, that the color giving is according to your understanding and according to your convenience. So whenever you look at the color, you should be able to understand for what purpose you would have given the color. That will vary according to your. Sometimes you will try to give blue. Then after the re-examination, you can change the color also. I think you are able to understand. Now Rahu. Rahu 11th occupant, 9th star lord, and 6 and 12 cuspal sublord. This for the event of job in abroad, this is favorable. And second planet Venus is having some mixed signification, already discussed, right? Is favorable. But 11th occupant, 9th star lord, and 6 and 12 is supportive. So that way we can take that Rahu also into light green. Either light green or blue, we can take it because of the 9 and 12. But this grouping is good for the profession in abroad, right? So that also we have to keep in mind. And Jupiter. So when we are within, there are many greens are there, we should be able to differentiate. Anyway, we are going to check with the EPS table wherein we look at the significations and we can differentiate within the green also, right? Then Jupiter. Jupiter is 7th Lord, 10th Lord occupying 6th house and 1, 5 star Lord. This is also good. 7, 10, 6, 1 and 5. 1 and 5 is good to the Lagna. It is not unfavorable. It is not having any unfavorable grouping to the profession. It is supportive. So Jupiter also we can give light green. And Saturn. Saturn is 8th Lord, 9th Lord, 4th occupant, close to 5th cusp, 5 and 11 cuspal sublord. So it is definitely supportive for some changes because 8th Lord, 9th Lord occupying 4 and 5 and 5 and 11 supportive for change of job. So Saturn we can give pink shade. And Mercury. Mercury is very good. Lagna Lord 4, 4, 2, 6, 10 and 1, 4, 7. This is very good grouping. So Mercury is going to be a dark green. So this we could see that looking at all the colors of the planets, many planets are green, either green or dark green. Only two planets, Venus and Saturn are having mixed one, and Ketu is having some weaknesses on the higher side. So it itself is indicating that it is comparatively better. So only the planet which are Venus, Ketu and Saturn are ruling. Those planets will get the impact of the those planets and can favor for the change or loss of job. That you have to keep it in mind, right? So now let us save the colors and check the destiny and also dasa periods. So we have saved the colors and let us go to home. So we are on the home page, and now let us examine the destiny and the other planets, dasa periods. So let me keep open the North Indian chart and South Indian chart also here, and obviously self-significators. Okay. Now we have to check the 10th Lord. Who is the 10th Lord? 10th Lord planet is Jupiter. And 10th sublord is Venus. So we have to check Jupiter and Venus. So Venus is present here. So let us check the Jupiter first, then check the Venus. Jupiter is green color planet. In the star of Ketu is having light red and supported by Mars is green. So that Ketu 5 and 8 is not good, but second planet is good. 2A level planet Saturn is mixed one, both favorable and unfavorable. So the star level indicating some weakness to the 7th Lord. But sub-level planet Mercury is good. And star lord of the sub-lord also Mars is good. So that way the star level only having got some weakness, but all other planets are supportive. Look at that, whether the star level planet, though it is weakening these 10th house matters, it is supportive for some changes also, whether that is completely not supportive or it is getting any support. First point, one level is weak, whether that level is getting support from other planets. Yes, second planet Mars itself is good, okay. And Ketu is posted in the sign of Mars, that Mars is conjoined with the Jupiter. So Jupiter is green color planet, favorable with some change, but the Jupiter and Ketu are connected to each other because Jupiter is conjoined with the Mars and Mars is represented by the Ketu. There is a ruler link between Jupiter and Ketu. So Jupiter is passing its significations to Ketu, and it is getting the support of the Mars also. Vice versa, it is going to happen. Somehow they are all connected to each other. So unfavorable strength is getting reduced. It's support for change, we can see, right? Favorable and unfavorable and again favorable. Then in addition to that, either Mars is getting any other support from any planet. Mars and Jupiter both are aspected by Saturn. Saturn is the 12-level planet, 8, 9, 4, 5, 5, 11. It is supportive for some change. So obviously, Saturn also giving support to the Mars and Saturn also giving support to the Jupiter. So they are all connected to each other. They are supportive for some change that we are able to see. It is not supportive for any loss. Look at that sublord. What sublord is going to give? Sublord is talking about Mercury. Mercury is very good key planet. Where is Mercury? Mercury in the sign of Mercury itself, conjoined with the Sun. So Mercury is good, and Mercury in the star of Mars, that is also good. Second planet is Ketu having some weakness, doesn't matter. That is not going to be much impactive. So Mercury planet, sublord is good, star lord of the sublord also good. So that seventh lord planet, 10th lord, seventh lord planet is supportive at star level, indicating some changes. And with support of the other favorable key planets and 12 level planet, and importantly sublord favorable, it is supportive for the professional prospects, but also it is supportive for some change that we are able to understand. Suppose the sublord is not good, then it is good that weakness is going to be more because that star levels unfavorable will be further increased by the sublord. Here it is not like that. I think we're able to understand. So now Jupiter, favorable key planet, Jupiter is present and Jupiter is conjoined with the Mars. Mars is present and that Mercury is present. So Jupiter, Mars and Mercury are the strong favorable key planet of the Dasa Lord. And Saturn is a mixed key planet. Unfavorable key planet of the Jupiter is Ketu, right? And Jupiter is the 10th lord and 7th lord. Now let us check the 10th sublord. 10th sublord planet, which planet? That is Venus. Let us check the 10th sublord planet, Venus. Venus, if you see Venus, Venus itself is a mixed planet. It is supportive for some changes. Please understand 5 and 5, 3, 7, 11, 2 and 10 are favorable for the profession connected to the that IT and all, creativity and software and all. But still 5, 12, 5, I'm moving toward this one, supportive for change, right? Now, Venus supported by Rahu is fine. Venus in the star of Jupiter. Jupiter is good with some weakness. And 2 level is Ketu has got some weakness. And sublord again Venus is coming. So again it is confirming that supportive for some changes, right? So Dasa Lord, not Dasa Lord, Destiny planet, 10th cuspal sublord planet is getting the support of the Rahu 11, 9, 6, 12. This 5, 12, 5, 3, 7, 11, 2, 10. This grouping is supportive for the profession in abroad because you can see the 3, 9, 12 and 7, 6th house, 10th house are all favorable. In the star of Jupiter, Jupiter is 7, 10, 6, 1, 5 are good, and Jupiter also aspected by Saturn. Saturn is the planet 9, 4, 5, 5, 11. It is supportive for change, also supportive for job in abroad, because I'm trying to find how come this destiny also supportive for job in abroad. Jupiter is aspected by Saturn, 9th lord, and Jupiter is conjoined with the Mars. That Jupiter is in the star of Ketu, representing Mars. That Mars is favorable for travel. In job in abroad also, right? So that way it is supportive for professional prospects in abroad. But since that Venus is having 512, 5, 512, 5 also present, and planet level and also sub level, it is supportive for some changes also. So that destiny is supportive for a notable job prospects along with some changes, and also it is supportive for the job in abroad. So that we are able to identify from the destiny. Now in the destiny, which are the unfavorable key planet for change causing key planet? Venus and Ketu both are playing, and Saturn is playing role because Venus is conjoined with the Saturn. The unfavorable key planet or mixed planet Saturn and Venus and Ketu. These three planets are Venus, Ketu, and Venus again. And Saturn is influencing this Venus by way of conjunction. Saturn in the sign of Venus itself, and Saturn is conjoined with Venus. So that influence of the Saturn also will be there, because Saturn also is a mixed key planet. So it is supportive for job in abroad, and also it is supportive for some changes, as instability also there. So depending on the period, that will happen. So I think we're able to understand the role of the favorable, unfavorable key planet Ketu, Venus, and Saturn here. That is influencing the destiny planet. And similarly, the role of the favorable key planets, Rahu, second planet, is present, and importantly, Jupiter is present at the star level, and Jupiter present at the star lord or the sublord. Not only that, Jupiter is conjoined with the Mars. Mars is a good key planet, and that Ketu impact also there, but Mars role is present. That way it is supportive, and so the strong favorable key planet is Jupiter is present and Mars is present here. So that way we could see that that destiny is supportive for professional prospects in abroad with some changes. We could say that, right? Now what we have to do, the purpose of this video I will explain now. Let me clear these drawings, and where I have to keep this. Okay, let me close this for some time. Then when it is required, I will reopen. My point is that this native had a change of job during the Rahu Mahadasa. Let us check the Rahu Mahadasa. She had the change of job during the Rahu Mahadasa. Let me write down somewhere here. Just a minute, so that it will be easier. She had the change of job in Rahu Dasa, and Mars Bugdi. In Rahu Dasa, Mars Bugdi, Jupiter Antra. Jupiter Antra, she got the change. That happened in the October 2019. She wanted to change the job and applied the job, new job. She got the new job, and after 1 month notice period, she joined the job in Rahu, Mars, and Saturn. So change happened in the Jupiter, and joining in the other company happened in the Saturn. So we have to consider which planet has given the change. That is important. Rahu, Mars, and Jupiter. Why Rahu, Mars, and Jupiter? We have to check now. Just a minute. If you look at the Rahu, in Rahu Dasa, which are the unfavorable key planet, which is making that Rahu is having unfavorable for the, or what are the unfavorable key planet? Our Ketu, Venus, and Saturn, right? Ketu, Venus, and Saturn. So here in Rahu, which are the unfavorable key planet are significantly playing. So Rahu itself is Venus. Okay, and second planet, that Sun is conjoined with the Mercury, that we already saw that. And to a level is Ketu, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Mercury. So Ketu and Venus, they are all playing role for Rahu, but not directly as a ruler, but they are getting the influence of them by way of second planet, right? So that way we are able to see that. So that Rahu Dasa is having that under the influence of the unfavorable key planet also. Let me open that birth chart, so that also will be supportive. And so Rahu, Venus, and Ketu are playing role in the second planet. So now in Rahu Dasa, Mars Bugdi, so Dasa Lords having got both Venus and Ketu in its supports, that Venus is conjoined with the Saturn, right? And Rahu is posted in the sign of Saturn. So Saturn is getting the influence, or giving the influence to the Rahu and Venus by way of supports, right? Saturn role is present, Venus role is present, and Ketu, all planets role are present, but not straight away, but also through the second planet or in the supports, right? That is the Dasa Lord's position. And in the Bugdi Lord is Mars. This is the Mars is the Bugdi in discussion now. In the Mars itself is Ketu, okay? In the star of Ketu, the unfavorable key planet of the Dasa Lord, that Ketu, that which is representing Mars, that itself is playing role at the star Lord, and 2A level planet is Saturn. So Ketu, Saturn are strongly playing. Sublord is favorable key planet is Mercury, and again Mars favorable are present. So favorable key planet in Mars is Mars favorable key planet is, we can say Mars is the favorable and Mercury is the favorable, right? And let me write it down as favorable. Unfavorable are Ketu strongly present and comes the Saturn, right? Ketu and the Saturn. They are the unfavorable in the Mars Dasa. Sorry, in Mars Bugdi. Now let us check in Mars Bugdi, the native got the change of job on Rahu Dasa Mars Bugdi. Which Antra? Not in Rahu Antra, in Jupiter Antra. Why Jupiter? Jupiter in the star of Ketu itself. This is the unfavorable key planet of the Bugdi. That Ketu is playing role in the Jupiter itself at the star level, right? And the sub 2A level again Saturn and sublord is Mercury, the same rulers of the Mars also ruling for Jupiter. Why Jupiter and Mars are in conjunction? You can see Jupiter and Mars are conjoined. So both the planets are conjoined in the same degree almost, so that the star level, sub level are the same. So that Dasala, Bugdi Lord's unfavorable key planet Ketu is playing role for the star lord for the Jupiter, and also 2A level Saturn, and the Saturn also passing ruler link to the Jupiter by way of aspect, and also Ketu by way of aspect into the Mars. So that way all are good for the supportive for the change, and sublord is promising for a notable job. So in the Rahu Dasa, Mars Bugdi, Jupiter Antra got a change of job with a good position. Because you can see the favorable key planets of the Dasa Lord is Rahu, and importantly that Mars and that Mercury, free planet, strong planet, is playing role sublord for the Mars also, sublord for the Jupiter also. So that way it has got a very good change. So there is no doubt it is supportive for the change of job because of the role of the unfavorable key planets and also favorable key planets in Bugdi and also Antra. Built connection between Bugdi Lord and Antra Lord is present. Now, after that, the native was running after Mars over, the Rahu Dasa is over. Then Jupiter Dasa started. Now we have to look at in Jupiter Dasa, which are the favorable key planet making that Jupiter is unfavorable. What are the unfavorable key planet? Under Mars we have studied. Now Jupiter itself is the Dasa Lord, right? Under the Jupiter Dasa, which are the favorable key planet and unfavorable key planets we have to check, right? In the Jupiter Dasa, Jupiter is conjoined with the Mars representing Ketu. So Ketu itself is the unfavorable key planet, and Saturn is also another unfavorable key planet, and Jupiter is aspected by Saturn, right? Let me keep open the birth chart. So that Jupiter is aspected by Saturn. Saturn is an unfavorable key planet for the change causing key planet, and Jupiter is aspected by Saturn. Jupiter in the star of Ketu. Ketu is unfavorable, and Jupiter is influenced by Saturn. That is also indicating unfavorable, and Saturn conjoined with the Venus. That Saturn is aspecting to Jupiter. So indirectly, Venus also influencing the Jupiter, right? Anyway, Saturn influence will be significantly present on this Jupiter. 2A level also Saturn. Sublord is Mercury. Mercury is supportive. There is no problem. And the star lord of the sublord is Mars, representing Ketu. So, unfavorable key planet which are influencing the Dasa lord Jupiter is Ketu and Saturn. Indirectly, then Venus. So, Venus role is present, but not directly, but through the supports. But Saturn role is present, only the 2A level planet and also influencing planet for the Jupiter, and Saturn is aspecting to Mars. So Ketu getting the Saturn also. So Saturn is strongly playing under our Ketu. So Ketu and Saturn are the strong unfavorable key planet in the Jupiter Dasa. To look at the Jupiter Dasa, Jupiter star level is weak but supported by all the favorable key planets at the 2A level and support planets, and also that Jupiter is passing its ruler link to the Mars because Jupiter is conjoined with the Mars. So that way it is all supportive. So in Jupiter Dasa, Jupiter Bhukti, there is no change. I think you are able to understand because that is not bad. So in the Jupiter Dasa, strong unfavorable key planet in Jupiter Dasa is Ketu and Saturn, right? Influenced by Jupiter is influenced by Saturn straight away. That we have to keep it in mind. And indirectly, Venus is playing because Venus is conjoined with Saturn. Now, after Jupiter Dasa, Jupiter Bhukti, Saturn Bhukti started. In Saturn Bhukti, Saturn is our mixed key planet, change causing key planet. Saturn itself is influencing the Dasa Lord. And that Saturn in the star of Jupiter, it is supportive, it is favorable, but this 8, 9, 5, and again 5, it is indicating some weakness. Saturn is passing its ruler link to the Jupiter. So that Saturn unfavorable or mixed key planet is in the star of Jupiter is supportive and influenced by the Saturn itself. And the 2A level planet Ketu again is coming and sublord against Saturn. You see, suppose sublord instead of Saturn, if it is Jupiter or other favorable, Mars or Mercury are present, then it is going to be a very good. But this Saturn is talking about change. Sublord also again talking about the change and also influencing the star level planet and also the 2A level planet. So the role of Saturn is influencing more on the whole Bhukti. Though they are favorable also present, and influence of the unfavorable is strongly significant. So which is the unfavorable key planet strongly there in Saturn? Saturn itself. Right? So the Dasa Lord's unfavorable key planet Saturn is playing role here in the Bhukti Lord itself and Sublord also Saturn. So that because of that, Jupiter and Saturn are well connected. So Jupiter Dasa, Saturn Bhukti well connected by way of unfavorable key planet and also favorable key planet, Jupiter. So during this period, that planet, Bhukti Lord, can favor for some changes or because Sublord is also having some change. It is supportive for some unfavorable signification, along with that some favorable. Because of the favorable Jupiter and Mars, Jupiter is conjoined with the Mars and those significations also present. During the Jupiter Dasa, Saturn Bhukti, Saturn Antra, there will not be any change. The point is that Jupiter Dasa, Saturn Bhukti combination is supportive for change of job or some challenges in the job. According to the Antra, that event will happen, right? I think we're able to understand. Now, we have found that in the Jupiter, unfavorable key planets, and we have found the unfavorable key planets of the Bhukti Lord is Saturn is strongly playing, and Saturn is, and also Ketu. Where is the role of our Venus? Here, Jupiter is influenced by Saturn. Here, Saturn is influenced by Venus because Saturn is in the sign of Venus and conjoined with Venus also. So that Venus role is present by way of support to the Bhukti Lord. I have already said that unfavorable key planets, if they are in supports, they also will give the impact, right? So the Dasa Lord's favorable unfavorable key planet, Saturn is influencing the Dasa Lord. That Saturn is already influencing the Venus, that is also is influencing strongly the Bhukti Lord. Here also and here also. So That Saturn is the strong unfavorable key planet straight away. Then comes Ketu, then more than Ketu also only 12 level planet. But Venus is the other unfavorable strong key planet because Saturn in the sign of Venus and also conjoined with the Venus, that already we saw that, right? Now, in Jupiter Dasa, Saturn Bukti, Mercury will not give you any trouble. It is good. Ketu is the change-causing key planet, which is present, but star level and sub-level are favorable because Mercury is strongly playing role. It is also not going to, give you any changes because role of Saturn is present, but our Ketu and Venus role is not present, but favorable key planet is strongly present. Then you look at the Venus. Venus itself is playing role as the Antra Lord. Venus is influencing key planet of the Bugdi Lord, and Venus in the star of Jupiter. That Jupiter is supportive, but Jupiter is influenced by Saturn. That is the other unfavorable key planet of the Bugdi Lord itself is influencing the star Lord, Jupiter, and also that's Venus itself is conjoined with the Saturn. And 2 level again, Ketu, again sublord is Venus. So this Venus is strong unfavorable key planet influencing the Bugdi Lord itself, and also that sublord also, that Saturn itself influenced by the Venus. So Venus and Saturn are the strong unfavorable key planet. They are playing role here. Venus itself is playing role, planet and sublord, and Saturn is playing role here in the supports. So look at the grouping. Star level is got some weakness. 2A level again got weakness. Star level is good, but with 1, 5, and because these 5, 12, 5, it is getting some support. But 2A level is not very good, and sublord again it is coming the same planet. So because of that, this is indicating supportive houses are also there, some unfavorable houses also there strongly, planet level and sub level. The important point is that Bugdi Lord's unfavorable key planet Saturn and also Venus, they are influencing the Antra Lord that strongly. So because of that, the native got the loss of job in the Jupiter Dasa, Saturn Bugdi and Venus Antra, not in other Antras. I think you're able to understand. So we have already justified that why in the Jupiter Dasa, Jupiter Dasa, Saturn Bugdi and Venus Antra, why the native got the loss of job. It is not supportive for change of job because Venus is not in the sub of the favorable key planet, either Jupiter or Jupiter also having some weakness, but the 2A level planet. But if Mercury was there, then it would have been better, right? Mercury is not there. It is also again Venus. So Venus is weak. That Bugdi Lord's unfavorable key planet Saturn, and that Bugdi Lord unfavorable other key planet which is influencing the Bugdi Lord, that is Venus. That Venus itself is playing role here and also influenced by the other unfavorable key planet of the Bugdi Lord here, and the planet level and star level, because Jupiter is aspected by Saturn and sublord Venus is conjoined with Saturn. So both are connected to each other. Because of that, Saturn Bugdi, Venus Antra got the loss of job. 5, 12, 5. This is it is indicating strongly, no, I'm not going to favor because Bugdi is also weak and Antra also weak, supported by both Saturn and Venus, right? So there is no confusion. How come Jupiter, Saturn, Venus has given the loss of job? Now she is running in from July 2023 to December 2023. She is running that. The presently she is jobless only. She got the change of loss of job in September 2023. So she got the loss of job. The question is, I was telling that in Rahu Dasa, Mars Bugdi and Jupiter Antra, she got the job. Rahu Dasa, Mars Bugdi, Jupiter Antra, she got the job. That job only she lost in the Jupiter Dasa, Saturn Buddhi and Venus Antra. So Venus is capable to cause loss of job under the Saturn Buddhi. My question, prior to that, after Mars Dasa, Mars Buddhi, Jupiter Antra, Saturn Antra would have come, then Mercury Antra would have come, Ketu Antra would have come, and Venus itself would have run as Antra under the Mars Buddhi. So Ragu Dasa, Mars Buddhi, Venus Antra would have come. That Venus is capable to give loss of job under the Saturn Buddhi, but under Mars, Venus did not give loss. Under Saturn Buddhi, Venus has given the loss of job, but under Mars Buddhi, Venus did not give change of job. Why? Right? So let us check that tilt connection. That Venus is capable to give loss of job or change of job, that we already studied because of the significations. Look at the Rahu. Okay, the Lord is having both favorable, that both Venus and Ketu only in support strongly. Look at the Buddhi Lord Mars. In the Mars, look, let me open the birth chart also. In the Buddhi Lord Mars, which are the unfavorable key planets in the Buddhi Lord Mars? Let me clear this so it will be useful. Oh, sorry. In the Mars planet, Mars Buddhi, which are the unfavorable key planet? In Mars, Ketu is the strong unfavorable key planet, right? Ketu is the star lord for the Mars. And to a level is Saturn, right? And sublord is Mercury. All are fine. In Mars, the strong unfavorable key planet is Ketu. Straight away, Ketu is present. In Saturn, Buddhi, unfavorable key planet is Saturn itself, and also Saturn is repeated, and Saturn is well connected to the Venus. So Venus is influencing the Saturn strongly, right? Venus and Saturn are connected to each other because both are conjoined in the sign of Venus itself. So Venus influence will be more on Saturn, already we discussed. Here the Venus influence on Mars is not directly. Mars is here in the sign of Jupiter. Venus is there in own sign. Saturn is aspecting to Mars, right? But Saturn is aspecting, influencing the Mars. And Saturn is from the sign of Venus. Indirectly only Venus is connected. And sublord is Mercury. That Mercury is also not connected. Ketu in the sign of Mars, that we already discussed. Ketu is not connected to Venus. So that way, the direct role of Venus influence is not strongly there on Mars. So Mars unfavorable key planet is Ketu. Then comes the Saturn. Ketu and Saturn are the unfavorable key planet. But whereas in Saturn, Venus and Saturn are the strong unfavorable key planet, then the Ketu, right? So if you look at the Mars and the Venus, in the Venus Antra, Venus is the strong unfavorable key planet, which is ready to give change or loss of job. That unfavorable key planet is not the unfavorable key planet of the Buddhi Lord. In other words, that Antra Lord Venus is not having the role of the Ketu in its ruler strongly, only Venus is present. That Venus is not a strong unfavorable key planet of the Mars, so there is no tilt connection between the Mars and the Venus on the unfavorable with the unfavorable key planets. Because of that, in Mars book, the Venus, though it is indicating some weakness, but also favorable grouping also there, right? So because of the favorable grouping, that planet, because that Mars is conjoined with the Jupiter, favorable key planet, that Jupiter is the star lord for the Venus, and the other favorable key planet, Mercury is present. Mercury role is not there here straight away, but Jupiter role is strongly present. Jupiter is supporting to the Buddhi Lord. So there was no change of job or loss of job because no unfavorable key planet are connected, and also but favorable key planet are connected. But whereas in Saturn Buddhi, Saturn unfavorable key planet is Saturn Venus. That is strongly present in the Antra. So when Saturn is playing as a Bugdi, Antra Lord Venus will support for some changes or loss. When Mars is playing as the Bugdi Lord, that Venus will not support for change of job or loss of job. This is called the planetary interlink theory built connection. Otherwise, whenever Venus is playing role, looking at the grouping, we can say it will support for change of job. On all the Bugdis, if we say that Venus is going to give trouble, that is not going to happen. So we will fail in predictions. So Bugdi Lord, Dasa Lord, and Bugdi Lord and Antra Lord, the connection between them is important by way of key planets. So I think I have tried my best in explaining the built connection between the Bugdi and Antra. How come the unfavorable and favorable planets are supporting each other for the event to happen? I think you're able to understand. So we will meet in the next example. Good luck.